playing basketball takes a lot of practice and a lot of effort, and it's worth it in the end if you make it to where it is. Have any of you played basketball before? And if not, it's fine. I'm going to get you on some tips that how to start playing basketball. To getting started, you need the right equipment. You need to have a ball. You need to have a basketball goal. You need to have dribbling cones, and you need to have comfortable clothes, including shoes. You need to get a trainer or coach. When I grew up, I was lucky enough to have two good coaches in my life, and which was my dad. He trained me to get there, and then I had a neighbor who was my coach in elementary and middle school ball that got me to where I wanted to be. So when I did get to high school, I could play at that high level, and I could get college offers, which I did. You need to know the trainer or coach needs to be someone you know personally. It needs to be someone you're comfortable with, and somebody that knows how to play the game. You know, you can find those trainers that will want you to do all these hard stuff and fancy stuff to start. You just need to start with your fundamentals and work towards the goal of, being a good basketball player. But you need to set goals. You need to know what you want to accomplish going into a season or going into a game. You need to know where you want basketball to take you in your life, because it can take you a far way if you put in the work for it. And you need to know a part of the game that you want to excel at and get better at during the off season or during practice and during the game. Training, you need to have good technique. So you need to have good shooting form. So when you get that ball, you need to be able to hold the ball, put that hand behind the ball in front, and set your feet to a good angle to where your right foot, if you're right-handed, it's in front, and where your left foot's in the front. So when you do shoot it, it's like you're shooting, looking down the barrel of a gun. It's straight forward, you jump, and then you put enough arch on it into it. Your legs will do most of the work. You need to be able to dribble the ball. Dribbling is a big part of the game, and so is passing. If you can dribble, you need to be able to pass and be able to see the floor, because you need to be able to get your teammates involved and not be dribbling with your head down the whole time. Defense will, there's a saying in basketball, that defense will win you championships, and that's in most sports. So if you're able to play defense and put in the effort, it will reward you. And effort's our next topic. You need to be able to hustle and never give up. That's one thing. It's hard to drill into a little kid's head is, if they make a bad play, to never give up on it, and you never need to get down on yourself or your teammates. You'll see a kid turn the ball over, and they'll turn it over and they'll get to put their head down. You need to be able to be like, raise your head, don't worry about this play, worry about the next play, and move on to it. You need to exercise. You need to be able to run a lot. Me growing up, I was a bigger kid and I needed to run. I could not run much. I had asthma. I got asthma playing baseball, and it hindered me for a long time until I got my inhaler, and I would have to take my inhaler 30 minutes before every game and practice, and I have to do 2 puffs of it. So it would give me that energy to run, and I would do it sometimes at halftime too. You need to be balanced. I'm not always balanced. I walk on my toes, and I still do. I can't really do anything about it. I went to a doctor, and it helped for a little while, but it's still not helping as much. You need to be tough. When you're going up for a rebound, you need to be able to bring it down and not let all these little guards, if you're a big guy, steal it from you. You need to be tough and be able to hold your ground. Not being tough to get into a fight or a little scruffle. We don't need that in the game. You just need to be tough enough to hold your ground. Weightlifting will help you, and not just basketball. It'll help you in life. It can help you. It can just help your body in general. You don't want to be obese, and you don't want to be lazy. Well, you can weightlift, and you don't have to be that as much. And there's other things you need to work on. Your mentality. You always need to have confidence. No matter if it's a sport or if it's just life, you need to have confidence. And if you're going in for a big interview, you need to be confident about that interview. You need to be like, yeah, I'm gonna nail this. And if you don't, keep your head up. That's just a part of it. You have a plan in this world, and you will pursue it. Just chase your dreams. don't always listen to the haters. There's those kids in school I know, saying, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough, you can't shoot good enough. Well, you can listen to them, but don't let them get in. If you're not a good shooter, well, work on it. Talk to your coach about it. Your coach will always be there to help you, and that's why they are there. You need to always believe in your abilities as a basketball player. Me, I'm a bigger guy. I played the post. I knew I could score well in the post, and that I was a bigger body. I could bang up against people. So I would use all my ability to score off that, and I was good at defense. I hated playing defense a lot, but I knew I would wear the other people down when I was being tough. You need a good work ethic. You always need to be at practice in a game. You always need to give it your all. Never give up. I will say that again. Never give up. Working and training whenever you can. That's a big thing. I always worked and trained. I would come home from school. Dad put us to work. We'd always use our left hand on a certain day and always use your right hand so you can get better at the game. And you need to have leadership. Holding your teammates accountable. They might have certain roles, you might have certain roles. You have to hold yourself and your teammate accountable. Never letting the team get down on themselves. I said that before. You just never let them get down, especially on a turnover, a bad game, just move on to the next thing. Always communicating, especially on defense and on offense. You need to be able to talk and be able to talk to the offense and talk to the defense and tell them what they need to do. And never putting personal stats over team success. You might score 20 points and you get a loss. You shouldn't be happy about that. You need to be happy with 0 points, but a whole bunch of rebounds and a whole bunch of steals and a win. And that's a big part of the game. But always stay positive and work hard in all aspects of life, not just sports. And thank you all.